Hello dear students, welcome to our online session. You are watching Chaya Ma'am, and today we are going to deal with a new story named as That Little Square Box. This story is actually written by Arthur Conan Doyle, the very famous English writer who is famous for his detective stories. Do you know what is a detective story? A detective story is a story that has some kind of suspense in it, some kind of investigations, and some mystery is hidden inside. And the very famous stories of Sherlock Holmes was actually written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Now this story, That Little Square Box, is also a type of a detective story in which we are going to see the characters are carrying a very little square box, okay, and that square box is secret. No one knows what is inside the square box, and they keeps it so secretly that they don't want to reveal or tell anyone what is actually inside the box. And the whole story revolves around this particular little square box. So let us today start with the first paragraph. I request you all to take your textbook page number 118 and look into it along with the video. So we were fairly started upon our voyage. There was a general rush among the passengers in search of berths. A pile of luggage was lying on one side of the deck, awaiting their turn to be taken below. With my usual love for solitude, I walked behind these and sat on a coil of rope between them and the vessel's side. Now in the first paragraph we can see the narrator says that we, or the speaker of the story, is he and his companion. Okay, so that is why he uses the word we. So he says that we were fairly started upon our voyage. Voyage means journey on sea. Okay, so he says that we actually started our journey, and there was a general rush among the passengers in the search of berths. Now you know this is very common scene whenever you go to bus stations, whenever you go to railway stations. You can see lots of passengers and crowd will be there, and everyone is trying to get inside the vehicle or inside the train and to get their seats. Okay, and so this is a very common crowd that you see. Same here also, people are crowded to get inside the ship. A pile of luggage was lying on one side of the deck. Deck means the front tapering part of the ship we call, and you can see that a lots of luggages are being kept there on the deck. And pile of luggage means it's a pile is a collective noun, and pile of luggage refers to that collection of the luggages kept there, awaiting their turn to be taken below. Now the luggages will not walk and go by themselves, right? So someone has to be there to carry these luggages. So all the luggages are kept there. Now when you go to airport, you will be giving all your luggages and baggages to one section where they will be carrying and they will be keeping inside the plane. You will not carry it along with you and keep it in the place next to your seat or below your seat, etc. That is seen only in the trains or even in the buses, but not in the aeroplanes. Okay, so in the ship also the condition is similar, that they collect all the luggages and they have a section separate where the luggages are being kept. With my usual love for solitude. Now our speaker is a person who loves solitude. Now what do you mean by solitude? Solitude means it's a state of being alone that the speaker enjoys. So it is a state of being alone where the speaker doesn't want any kind of friends or companion. They are happy being alone. They are happy eating, drinking, sleeping, walking, traveling, everything they do alone or by themselves. Okay, and our speaker is also a person who loves to do the things alone, who loves solitude. I walked behind these and sat on a coil of rope between them and the vessel's side. So now the speaker, what he is doing, he is actually, he saw a coil of rope. Now what do you mean by coil of rope? It means a very big bundle of rope. He saw a bundle of rope there, and since he couldn't find any seating places like chairs or benches, etc., he thought of sitting on that bundle of the rope, that is the coil of the rope, and between the vessel's side. I was aroused from my daydreams by a whisper behind me. So as he was sitting on the bundle of the rope there, suddenly he heard someone calling him back. Okay, whispering behind means someone calling or talking to him or saying to him something in a very low voice. Okay, so here is a quiet place, said the voice. Sit down and we can talk it over in safety. Now what is the communication given by that particular voice? That person said that this is a very quiet and comfortable place. Can you please sit down here and we can have a talk or we can have a communication. The glancing through a gap between two colossal chests, I saw that the passengers who had joined us at the last moment were standing on the other side of the pile. Glancing. Now what do you mean by glancing? Glancing means looking. Looking through the gap between the two colossal chests. Colossal chest means again the square boxes. Colossal chest means very extremely big in size, large in size. So he was looking through a gap which was being found between the two huge boxes. Okay, I saw that the passengers who had joined us at the last moment were standing on the other side of the pile, and he noticed that there were few passengers who came into the ship at last, and they were standing on the other side of the pile. What is the other side of the pile means? Where all the luggages are piled up, on the other side of the luggages which are kept. They had failed to see me as I crouched in the shadow of the boxes. So the narrator says that when I crouched into that shadow of the boxes means I kept myself comfortable to be seated in the shadow behind those boxes, and they did not see me. They had failed to see me means they did not see me. They did not recognize me, or they did not see me as I was entering into that shadow of the boxes. The one who had spoken was a tall and very thin man with a blue-black beard and a colorless face. Now in this story we are going to see the characters. Till now in the first 3 paragraphs we have seen that it was only the speaker or the narrator who is actually giving us the description. Now he introduces to the character here. Now here we have 2 characters. One is a tall man and another one is a short man. So the one who had spoken to him, just now we have seen someone was talking to him from behind. So the one who has spoken to him was a tall and very thin man, and he was having a blue-black beard and a colorless face. Now what do you mean by colorless face? Means he seems very dull. He doesn't seem like very happy, very active, etc. And he seems very dull. Okay. So his manner was nervous and excited. So why he is colorless? Why he looks colorless? Because he is having some kind of anxiety, some kind of tension, or he is nervous regarding something, and he is also excited at that time. Now you know both the words are opposite in meaning, nervous and excited. One shows that you are very much in anxiety, tension, etc. Another one you are happy and jovial. Now what is the difference between why the character seems to be nervous or why he seems to be excited? Excited because maybe this is his first trip on a ship or his sea voyage, and nervous because he might be having that anxiety of traveling first time, or there is something that he is hiding. Okay, so let us as we proceed through the story we will come to know what are the reasons. So his companion was a short little fellow with a brisk hair. Now he is also having a companion, and that companion, the second character, he is a short little fellow, means short in height, and he is having a brisk air. Brisk air here refers to the appearance of being quick, determined and practical. So he seems to be little bit more active, and there is no signs of tension or nervousness or excitement on his face, and he seems to be very much practical, not too much carried away by the emotions. Okay, so they both glanced round uneasily. Now what they both are doing, they both came last when all the passengers entered into the ship, and they were standing by the side of the deck, and they were looking around, glancing around as if to make sure they were alone. Now why they might be glancing around seems to be suspicious. There could be many reasons, like what all reasons you can put for their looking around. One can be like this is might be the first time they are in the ship, and that is why they feel curious to see everywhere. That could be the one reason of glancing. Second reason is that they might be very having tension because it's my first traveling. Second thing is that they might be carrying something, or they might be hiding something, or even it could be of their identity or something in their luggage, anything that is actually disturbing them or distracting them, and in order to make themselves safe they might be having a check looking around. So let us see what is the actual reason, which one goes with the story. So well Muller, said the taller of the two, we have got it aboard right enough. Yes, agreed the man whom he had addressed as Muller. It was rather a near go. It wouldn't have done to have missed the ship. No, I would have put our plans out. Let me see it. Is no one looking? No, they are nearly all below. So now this is a conversation that is going on between the tall man and the short man. And here one of the character calls, well Muller, said the taller of the two. Means taller of the two means Muller is the name of the short man. Okay. So the taller man said, well Muller, we have got it aboard right enough. That means we have come to the ship in the right time and without any kind of distractions or disturbances. Then the shorter man said, that is Muller said, yes, agreed the man whom he had addressed as Muller. It was rather a near go, means he didn't expect, the very narrowly avoided missing the ship. That means, so they were not expecting that they will be reaching the ship, and even if they reach the ship, they were not expecting that they will be able to board the ship. Okay, so that's why they were now satisfied, relaxed, and said, finally we have got into the ship. It wouldn't have done to have missed the ship. So that it wouldn't have done that we would have missed the ship. No, it would have put our plans out. No, if we have missed the ship, we wouldn't be able to put out our plans. Means we will not be able to implement our plan. This conversation shows that there is something they are hiding, something secret which others don't know, and they are not interested in explaining it to other or revealing it to other. So their conversation continues. Let me see it. Is no one looking? Again they are checking the surroundings. Is anyone looking at us, or is anyone paying attention to us? No, and they confirm that no one is looking at them. No, they are nearly all below. Now all the other passengers have stepped down from the deck to the seating area inside the ship, and now these two are there in the deck, and the narrator. Now here you can see in the picture the narrator standing behind, peeping through that small window and looking what these people are actually doing. Okay, that means that on the deck of the ship only the tall man and the shorter man, that is Muller, are present, and the narrator, and all other passengers are inside the ship. Now, we can't be too careful where so much is at stake, Flanagan, said Muller, and laid a dark object upon the deck. One glance at it was enough to cause me to spring to my feet with an exclamation of horror. Luckily, they were so engrossed in the matter on hand that neither of them observed me. Now, we can't be too careful where so much is at stake. Now, what do you mean by at stake? At stake means it is a situation or a condition where they can lose something important if the plan is not successful. Okay, that means they cannot leave the things at the risk. At stake means taking risk upon yourself for doing something which you have planned, or like or some ideas that you want to put into practice. Okay, so here the another taller man's name is Flanagan and the shorter man's name is Muller. So Muller says, we can't be too careful when so many things are at the risk. We can't be able to too much careful. When you notice someone becoming too much cautious about something, maybe their sitting or their luggage, etc., it is quite visible to others that something is wrong with that person, or something is wrong with that luggage in which he is carrying. So if you give too much attention to your things, your behavior, and if you don't behave normally, obviously it will be coming to the notice of the people. So that is why Muller says that we can't be too careful where so much is there at the risk. Now you cannot close the eyes of everyone, right? You cannot keep on watching everyone, that who is looking at you or what they are thinking about you, etc. So sometimes by the behavior itself we will give a chance for others to see that, oh, I am hiding something, or I have something carrying in my luggage, like that. So that is why Muller says that don't show off too much of cautiousness or caring, because we don't want to put ourselves in a risk. And he laid a dark object upon the deck, and he kept a dark object upon the deck. One glance at it was enough to cause me to spring to my feet with an exclamation of horror. Now, one glance, one look at that object is enough for him to get all the explanation of the horror. Now, when you get an explanation of horror on your face, normally when you have a fear of something, normally when you hide something. Okay, so now you are hiding something, and you suppose something you have brought in the class and you have hidden it, and you know that if your class teacher sees or any teacher sees it, you will be in problem, right? So whenever you are keeping that thing with you, that fear will be there inside you, always thinking that whether I will be caught, will my friends will be communicating to the teacher or not. So that tension, that fear will be very clearly seen on your face. Okay, and you seem to be uncomfortable, you seem to be disturbed. So the same thing is happening with the characters here. So something in the box they are carrying, and they don't want to others to know about it, and at the same time they have to be very careful regarding the box, and that fear is being highlighted on their face. Luckily they were so engrossed in the matter on hand that neither of them observed me. Now one person is observing Fragnen and Muller, and who is that? That is none other than the narrator or the speaker of the story. And these two people are not at all aware that they are being watched continuously from the time they have entered into the ship till now, that someone is listening to their conversation, and they are always being watched. Okay, so from the first moment of their conversation, I had felt a horrible sense of misgiving. Now the narrator speaks to the readers, and he says that from the first moment of their conversation, I had felt a horrible sense of misgiving. You know, the way they are communicating, they are speaking very slowly, they are speaking in a very standing in a corner, as if they want to hide something. All the passengers entered into the deck, and still they are standing on the deck. So all these hints what the narrator is observing, and he feels like something is wrong with them. It seemed more than confirmed as I gazed at what lay before me. So all these different situations, when the narrator is trying to connect it, he is confirmed, she made sure that whatever he is looking at or thinking about these two people, something is wrong. He felt that something they are hiding, or something is wrong, that they are not like all the other common passengers on the ship. It was a little square box made of some dark wood. It reminded me of a pistol case, only it was much higher. Now the object we have already seen in the previous paragraph, that there is a dark object. Now what is a dark object they are carrying? Dark because it is painted in dark brownish or in blackish, and it is a wooden box. Okay, so this little square shaped box which is darkly painted, and they are more concerned and worried about that box itself. Okay, so the narrator also observes that and when he looks at that box, he thinks that it reminded me of a pistol case. It looks like a box in which pistols are being kept, but this box is little bit higher. Now you might have seen the boxes where we keep the violin and guitar, etc. They are rectangle in shape, right? Or but this box is little bit bigger in size, and so he concluded that this could not be a pistol case. There was a trigger like arrangement upon the lid, and the top of the lid of the box there is a kind of trigger, means something like a bolt or something like that, you can carry or hold that box, okay, or something like a lid that you can open that, okay, to which a coil of string was attached, and on the top of that a string has been attached to that. Beside this trigger there was a small square opening through the wood. Now by the side of that trigger there is a small square, again a small square shaped door like or window like opening is there, that means someone, you can open that part. The tall man Flanagan, as his companion called him, peered in for several minutes with an expression of intense anxiety upon his face, and every time he was conscious about, we have already seen that he was very tensed, isn't it, nervous. So every time he was conscious, he kept on looking at the top area of the box and looking specially to that square shaped opening which was fixed upon that top of the wooden box, and he was very much anxious. His tension is very clearly seen upon his face. It seems right enough, he said at last. So he is actually confirming that something that they are carrying inside the box is safe and secure, and the opening of that box is also locked properly so that it will not come out or no one can easily open it or look into that. So he says it seems right enough, that means all that is fixed properly, closed properly. I tried not to shake it, said his companion. His companion's name is Muller. So Muller says that yeah, everything is fine, and I made sure that it should not be shaked, means that box should not be moved again and again, that can cause disturbance to the object or the thing that is kept inside the box. Such delicate things need delicate treatment. Now what do you mean by delicate? Delicate means those things which are soft, which are easily breakable, okay, where you have to handle with care, okay. So he says that such delicate things need delicate treatment, means you have to be very careful in handling such delicate things delicately, means very softly, carefully you have to handle that. Put in some of the needful, Muller. So he says that see, such needful things should be kept it very delicately. Now in this picture you can see that Muller and the Flanagan both are there on the deck and the box is there, okay, and in the coming part of the story we see that the narrator, the speaker of the story, is very curious to find out what is there in the box and why they are hiding. So to know actually what is there inside the box and why they are hiding and what is the secret of this little square box, let's listen in the next part of the story. So keep reading and have a good day. Thank you.